Okay, so welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad to have you. Pull up a chair. I would like to go over the reasons people quit wood carving, the reasons people stop wood carving from the get-go. And in doing so, I'd like to go over a little bit about my background, about who I am, and about my journey to get here. Now, forgive me for a minute. I've got allergies. It's my allergy season, so my eyes are watering like crazy. If you see me crying, I'm not crying because of the video. This is not that hard. I'm crying because my eyes are watering because of the allergies. So, like I said, carving, right? Number one is they're using dull tools. They're using tools that aren't strapped properly. When I started carving back during COVID, and I had the opportunity to see an Instructables video or an Instructables article on how to carve something, and I carved this little Santa here. Okay, it's a terrible carving, absolutely horrible, and I gave up for like a week before I came back and tried something else. I saw on Instagram a wood carver named František Bagošević in Belarus, and he carves these wonderful figures. And this is a terrible imitation of it that I carved out of a 2x4. Okay, a 2x4 filled with sap, and it was so hard. And carving that little cross right there was so terrible. It took so much time because there's a block of sap right here. I could barely get any kind of depth to it. I mean, it was just absolutely atrocious, right? And so that's the first thing that I try to do. And by the time I got around to this guy, I watched an Instructables article and read it thoroughly on how to do this guy, a face, right? It's a very basic face, square eyes, blocky, triangular nose, terrible. If you look at here, you'll see all the chatter in the wood, right? Absolutely dull tool. It was terrible. My third carving, and I had taken my first knife from sharp to terribly dull. Now, I started with this Beavercraft knife here, right? Just a regular Beavercraft Sloyd, huge, thick blade, a terrible knife to start with, but it was a sharp knife, and at first it worked great. But the problem was I didn't know a single thing about stropping. I didn't know how to maintain a blade, and by the time I got to this point, it was so dull, I gave up on carving. I didn't come back to it for about a year. A year. That's the number one reason people quit carving, is because they don't know how to properly sharpen their knife or strop their blade. It wasn't until I saw a video by Doug Linker, a strop and how to use it or how to make it or something like that, that I got a hold of like how to keep this knife sharp and what to do and how to maintain it. And once I did that, I came back to carving with a passion. But it took me a while to get there, right? And along the way, I kept running into hurdles. I kept running into issues that kept me from carving. And that brings me to number two, which I briefly mentioned, was I kept using the wrong type of wood. I was using pine for this guy, and I kept hitting those knot saps. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I use pine wood when I could have used basswood? Basswood is soft, and it's easy to carve with. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful thing to carve with. Don't use hickory. Don't use maple. Don't use pine. You're going to see other carvers tell you can use those, and you can. Yes, you can. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do that. It is terrible. If you spend 2 hours trying to carve a shield, right? That's not fun. When you're learning, you're not going to improve that way. You're going to give up. So don't do that to yourself. Get a piece of basswood and carve, and then when you carve something detailed and intricate into a shield, right? It's not that hard. You can put a little depth to it, right? So don't do that. Don't make it harder on yourself than it needs to be. And that's reason number two, carve with basswood. Reason number three that people quit carving is because they can't see their own progress, right? You start carving and your carving looks terrible and you're not sure what to do. You're not sure where to go from there. Well, here's the issue, right? Like I carved one of those Dalo gnomes, right? The Dalo is a South Korean carver, and he does fantastic little things. This is one of the videos he did, was this little gnome. And the gnome was terrible. I loved him. I thought he was the neatest thing ever. So I carved a second one, right? And after I carved the second gnome, I noticed he was so much better than my first gnome. So what did I do? I got a bright idea. And this brings me to reason number three, full on. I carved 10 of these guys. The first two were terrible in comparison to number 10. I mean, number 10 was so awesome, and I gave him away. I gave away all the other ones. I kept these first two to remind me to not give up, about how progress takes time, right? Invest the time. Don't do one of these little carvings that you see in a Doug Linker video or in one of my videos or an Adalo video or an Alec Cass video. Don't just do one. Keep your knife in the wood. Keep making chips. Keep going. Make 10 of something. Put a purposeful mindset into practicing this stuff, and you will get better. And when I say you'll get better, I mean like you'll get like better. Here's something I carved recently at a carving seminar, right? You will get significantly better. Which brings me to reason number 4. People want to do something amazing. They want to carve a wizard like this caricature wizard I carved with Roger Stiegel at the Hill and Holler seminar, right? They want to do something like this. You can't start here. You've got to do silly little things first. You've got to learn more about carving first, right? So you've got to carve something like a Daedalo gnome, right? Or you've got to carve something like some of the stuff that I show people how to carve, right? Like a little dwarven warrior. Or you can get one of these dwarven shield warriors, right? Bigger guy. Or you can learn how to carve maybe a whimsical mushroom. There's not a lot of detail here. This is a lot of smooth areas. It's easy to do. Cartoon stylized rather than characterized. These are a lot easier. These are not very difficult for a new carver to do. Like this little guy here. They're cute, they're fun, and there's something neat that you can give people, and they'll be like, wow, you're really good at this. Well, I'm not that great yet, but I'm getting there, right? So you can learn things and work on things that are well within your capabilities that aren't something crazy difficult. Don't bite off more than you can do. Don't start with something that is so difficult to do that you start doing it and then give up when you're unsuccessful. That's terrible. I don't want people to fail at this. I want there to be more wood carvers, more people doing this, because it's such a fun hobby. This hobby has been so relaxing, so enjoyable, and it's given me so much. Don't give up on it before you get a chance to start because you bit off more than you can chew, because you picked something that's too difficult. Reason number 5 people quit carving is a mistake I made in the first carving, right? I told you how I started carving this guy here, and I did terrible, right? Well, after I did terrible on him and messed up, I gave up on him. I didn't carve again for a week. Right? I'm lucky I came back to carving that quickly. A lot of people give up on a carving when they make a mistake, and then they stop completely. They don't come back to carving at all. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because you're not looking just to learn how to carve from me. You're looking to learn how to carve and move past me, to get past me to where you don't need me. I'm a nice guy, but you don't want me here all the time trying to show you how to do this guy here. You want to be able to look at something and say, hey, I want to carve that, and just sit down with a piece of wood and carve it. You want to get that creativity that allows you to do that. So when you mess up on a piece like this, you don't stop. You look at it and say, what else could it be? How else could I fix this? If I messed up with the mustache, can the mustache be shorter? Can the mustache be thinner? Can that be a weird lip? Can he have a disfigurement? What can I do to change this, to save him? That's the creativity you will need to learn how to develop, to gain that skill and use that skill to your advantage, so that when you look at a carving, or look at something out in the world, like you see a cartoon show, or you see a figure at Hobby Lobby, you think, man, I'd like to carve that. Now all of a sudden you can, because the skill set that you need to develop was right here and you walked away from it. When you mess up, what can I do to fix that? How can I turn that into something that I want to keep, that someone else will want to keep? How can I fix that, right? That's the thing. That's the whole goal that you are looking to learn how to do for every tutorial video you follow. If there's one thing you take away from this video from me, it's that you want to get away from the tutorial videos, right? You want to watch them. You want to learn how to carve those things. That's neat. But the skill you're looking to develop is the skill to see something and carve it. And you're going to get there by not giving up on your carvings, by carving something and then seeing a mistake and saying, what else can I do with it? How can I fix that, and how can I move past this to something more? So that was reason number 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I messed up a lot because I'm looking here. Oh my God, I'm doing it again. I'm looking here at the screen when I should be looking at the lens. Yell at me a little bit. Johnny, what are you thinking? What are you doing, Johnny? Come on now, get with the program. I'm going to get better at this, folks. I'm learning. It's a learning process. Everything's a learning process. Be a wood carver. It's a lot of fun. Interact with me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Threads. Right? I've got an Etsy shop. If you want to take a look at something, you want to carve something yourself, you want to see something I did, go for it. Take a look at what I did. If you see something that I carved and you're thinking, man, can I carve that too? Yes, you can carve what I carved. If you see something that I carved and you want to carve it and sell it in your own Etsy store, carve it. This is my permission to you. Carve the thing that I carved and then sell it yourself. Please. Absolutely. But send me pictures. Show me what you did. I want to see it. I genuinely want to see it. I'm that guy, okay? I was talking to my wife the other day about why I made a YouTube channel. And she said, I know exactly why you made a YouTube channel. And I'm thinking to myself, What are you talking about? How would you know? Like, what is your reasoning behind this, lady? Enlighten me. And she shocked me with how well she knows me, because that's what you do. You marry people that know you well, right? So she told me that you do this, Johnny, because you enjoy teaching. You enjoy growing people and helping people, and that's fun for you. And it is. It really is. But part of that is outside of this, right? Outside of me talking to people. I want to see what you've done. I want to see the things you've made. I want to know that I'm making an impact. And if I make an impact on somebody and I help them along their journey, that is the funnest thing ever. That is so neat. I want that. So if that helps you, if I've helped you at all, let me know. I genuinely want to know, because I'm that guy. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought something to the table for you. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching it with me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have links down below to sites you can buy basswood at, and so some other carvers we talked about, Van Kelly and Roger Stiegel. And I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye. It's going to be great. It's going to work out. Sure. Look at the lens. Look at the lens, Johnny. Don't look over here. Look over there. Look. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be okay. I'm going to figure this out. Bear with me. Quit barking! What? The stupid dog is making noise again. She's going to be fine. She's going to be okay. I'm going to look here. I'm going to look at. This has been the hardest part. It's not looking at that. It's looking here. I'm watching you. How are you? It's good to see you again. I'm glad you could stop by. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you very much. Anyway, so we're going to be okay. I'm going to keep track of where my head is in the frame and not have it over. Like, I can't be talking, he goes over here. Because if I don't pay too much attention, I'm just talking, I'll be sitting over here like this. No one wants to see a video like this. They want to see it here, Johnny. Stay in the middle of the frame, Johnny, and watch the lens. Oh my goodness gracious. Watch the lens. I'm doing it again. This is going to be okay. I'm going to figure this out. Time to smoke a pipe. I don't know what they're talking about.